Good morning. Oh my goodness, I cannot even begin to tell you. So it's Tuesday and it's beautiful outside. And I just wanted to do like a homeschool catch up. Yes, a homeschool catch up. So we have been working now 5 weeks. I think we're 5 weeks done. 5 weeks done. So we're really, no, we got to be more than that. I don't know. It's written in a book. It's in a book. You know, the last few weeks have been a little hairy. So we've been doing school, but not all the subjects, which means we're not quite on pace. But I do want to share like how it's been going and so far with BJU Math. This is not going to be like a great, not a viral video, but you know. So I will tell you, I have the schoolhouse, but I'm having some issues with the schoolhouse and like I can't get the internet back up. So we haven't been doing school out there. And I ended up with a partial leak in one of my spots. Nothing got ruined, but I got to take care of it. Don't get me dirty. No. Stop. That's the puppy. Puppy. Not so puppy anymore. She was like this big when I brought her home. She's not that big. Okay, so we're not using the schoolhouse. So I have actually everything in the tiny house, which I don't really like. I like it for the convenience of having it here. But what happens is that it's just there's stuff everywhere. So before, when I didn't keep so much stuff, it was easier to keep the house a little bit more manageable. Not so easy. And then there's just not enough space. There's not enough space. And I told my husband, I said, you know, everybody talks about like the debate between having a designated schoolroom and having a dining room. For many years, I had a dining room. In fact, one of my first videos was a tour of my dining room, which was a chaotic mess. It's the ADHD in me. So then we got the schoolhouse. Well, then we have to leave the house. That dog. The well pump. It was beautifully peaceful. But hey, the cicadas are not screaming, so. Alright, so I miss having the big table that we could all sit on. And even though it was never big enough, it was just nice. And I have these huge tables for the kids individually in the schoolhouse, but they're too big. I don't know. I miss having that big, like everybody just be at a table together. It's easier to manage. We're all together. Yeah, I miss that. So I was telling my husband, trying to figure out ways and what to do. And, you know, for this season, forever, how long it is that we're here. I don't know how long it is. That to make an outside living space has been my effort. I know a golf cart in the background does not look like an outside living space. It's not. So I have the mobile home and then I have a screen porch on top, but the screen porch is not big enough. If it didn't have to have any other uses, it would be big enough, but it has freezers and it has storage and it's just not big enough. So we can't do it there. So I came outside, and so I had this beautiful idea. So here's my whole point. I had this beautiful idea that I was going to create an outdoor living space, and we'd be all Charlotte Mason nature study. So getting it all out, Katie has built this like swing set, if you didn't see on Instagram. I even brought some stones over to have a hopscotch, you know, just trying to create that like really cool thing. Yesterday morning we got out here and we got ate alive by mosquitoes. We were like spraying I was like, yeah, not so much, not feeling it. And it's nice in the morning as long as you're here, but then as the sun moves, you gotta like move spots. But it's beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. So I'm trying to like create that one room, one table, dining room table school experience, whatever. So the whole point, 4 minutes in. Sorry, 5 minutes about having a school space. This is why I like to edit stuff and you're not getting anything edited. Alright, so we've been doing our schoolwork. I've had to make some changes. But I will tell you, I'm sticking through That crazy dog. I'm sticking through with BJU, but I'm not using it as I intended to use it. I made some mistakes in ordering it. I really should have gone to the curriculum display and really spent time going through all the books. But, you know, I was just like, let's just get it and go. Which, poor planning always results in bad judgments. Not always, but mostly. So, I bought in just the year they were in, the entire year curriculum. Well, if I would have spent the time, I don't like the math program past 6 and up because the books are huge, the font is tiny, and there's all these questions that are never assigned. And it's just too much clutter. And I feel like, and I've got some older versions of the book, and they're so much nicer than the newer version. And I just don't understand what was the necessity to bulk it up. It just feels unnecessarily bulked. And because of that, it gets overwhelming to use and look at, especially with us not having like a designated spot, and we're all over the place. So because of that, I did CTC Math trial, ctc.com, and I did a trial. I'd heard of them. I never thought much of them. I didn't, you know, I'm like, you're online, whatever. It is awesome. It is great. So it started with my daughter. She started using it. Then my son voiced his frustration with having to have all these problems and how overwhelming and confusing it is when he does the assignment. So when you buy CTC Math, you can get the family. So you spend one. I did mine through Homeschool Buyers Co-op. And you get to, I know, long video. This is a long video if you haven't figured it out. So you get the, go in there and you do the trial. So I spent, I think, around $120, maybe less than that. And I can put all of my kids on there. And I think that there was a bonus 6 months. So I am good until March 2019. Yeah. That's like crazy awesome. So what's nice is it's not really standards, but it's like 6th grade. You need to know this, 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 and this. And you can take a diagnostic test and you can watch a video and do the lessons. Well, my 2 oldest are actually working on the same spot. And it's really neat. Like, I got up this morning. Before I was even up, my son was on the computer doing his CTC Math. He was like cranking it out. And what I found with him is he actually likes to attempt the questions and then go back and watch the video. And then do the questions that he doesn't understand. And it marks how he's doing in the progress. And so I put the 2 older ones in there. And then my 4th grader jumped in there. And I can actually see my 2nd grader jumping in there. And they like it because they can watch a small snippet versus the long video of BJU. So doing BJU videos, the other issue we've run into is, okay, this has just, you know, the enlightenment that has shown up since August about the ADHD. What I now know for the future, and which when I look in the past completely understands and explains it all, is with our ADHD, I cannot do the same style of curriculum delivery for every subject. That bores us. That's the reason, like, after a while, it's like, ugh. So as much as I want the ease of just ordering a boxed curriculum for everybody, it's really going to be our downfall. And if you looked at my history of buying curriculum, you would know it's a downfall. So that has been a bit like, not so good. So, and with the videos, the problem comes into, there are just so many of them and they're so long. And what I didn't realize and what I needed to realize is that what I really wanted to get from the videos is the help giving the instruction on how to do the skill, to learn the skill. Not necessarily like, now open this page and turn, you know, not having actually, you know, I wanted a tutor more than a teacher, I guess would be the way to go. But I got teachers. So there's a lot of time spent in those videos that are just like, okay, you need to turn this page and do this. You know, those absolute instructions. That's kind of like, eh. So my daughters had a hard time with it, but still my next two, my number 2, number 3 child, which would be my 6th grader and my 4th grader, no problems. They actually don't mind. They said, you know, I did talk to them. They're like, yeah, I wish I didn't have so many. The one, my 4th grader was like, I do kind of miss how easy ACE was. I just opened the book, but I needed more help than I got, you know, then I realized like that day-to-day help. So that's been kind of rough. The other part was, I don't like 7th grade. I don't like the jump they make from 6th grade to 7th grade. And what I mean by that is I like the 6th grade curriculum outside the fact that the math is too bulked up. But the 7th grade, the style of the books changed tremendously. And to be honest, I love the 6th grade book. In fact, I love the 6th grade book so much. And the 6th grade was so much going on for my son that I dropped him into the 4th grade for English and spelling and reading. Because I've talked to you about him. He is the one who learned to read in 3rd grade. And then I put him in 6th grade. You know, 2 years later, 3 years later, I'm putting him in 6th grade, which shouldn't be a problem. But he does more audio than reading, and what we really started hitting home was the fluency wasn't there. So as he's reading it, he's missing like 70% of his reading, which was a problem I had growing up. So I dropped him down. I'd rather drop him down and really strengthen that kind of 4th level, whatever, strengthen the basic skills before trying to give him everything. He's not going to handle everything. He needs to handle smaller bites. So he was going through the motions, but it just was like water on a duck's back. Nothing was sticking, just he was getting the job done. And so I decided I'd rather get the points of 4th grade down really. I mean, a lot of it is some of the same. Hey, stop tearing apart my golf cart. A lot of it is the same, you know, like the English is just, now you just expand on it, you know, so getting the basics. So I did that. That has been a great move. So like in the future coming on from this, I'm definitely going to use some BJU. I really like the English. I'm not going to lie. I like the English and the reading the best, the absolute best. I think I like the science and history, but I probably do because I just don't need, I just don't need to help them a lot on that. They're busy building stuff, making stuff, the whole 9 yards. They've been busy doing that, at least the younger ones. But I like the English in the Bible from 6th grade down a lot. I mean, I'm learning a lot but I found like for my daughter, she watches the English videos sometimes, but for the most part, I'm delivering the English because I don't want her to go through the motions, and it stops her from going through the motions, if that makes sense, by doing that. So, you know, we're using BJU, and we're using BJU because I got them, you know, but there's a lot of things that we're not using. We're not using the math. For my 2nd grader, the fluency wasn't there yet either. And so I had to put the English and the spelling and the reading to the side. My hopes are, my goal, we're finishing Christian Light education. I've added reading eggs to her list. She's doing Explode the Code online. And I did the memberships for Explode the Code and Reading Eggs online through Homeschool Buyers Co-op. I go through them for a lot of stuff, especially subscriptions. I have them doing that. And she's doing the book with Explode the Code because she gets really overwhelmed. And it's nice because I can go on Explode the Code. I can see where she's having a problem. Like she's having a problem with the CR, GR, TR. And I find the flashcards and then we do some verbal stuff with that. So we're kind of like I feel like coming at all angles. All angles to do the, still a puppy. She's going to get so much bigger. But I'm coming at all angles to do phonics, because I want the phonics there. I want the reading there. I want that part done. I need to get a good book basket of all the beginner readers so that I'm sitting with her, making sure she's getting ample practice. I know. I wish. Watch her way I talk. Ample practice. So that come December, we can go in there and I can use those DVDs. But I have a feeling I'll either, come fall next year, I'll either keep the DVDs, rent them for another term, because you can do that, or what I will do is I'll probably end up sending the DVDs back. I bought the teacher's manuals. The teacher's manuals have been a lifesaver. I'm so glad I bought those, because even though I have like the big books with the teacher handouts and everything, they're just so huge. They get a little confusing. You can't, it's like you're going based on the class. You can't do any like changing up. And so having the teacher's manuals, I can just be like, skip that. I see where this is going. Skip that. We have started doing some of the preschool stuff. That one is so different because the, and I'll have to do another video on that as I get more time and practice in it. But that one is very, you only got the bits and pieces according to the class. There's no teacher's manual because they're parent-led versus their video-led are so different, even though they use the same stuff. And I don't really like that, because I was like, oh, do we have to watch the video? My son, for the pre-K one, sat and watched the whole week's 4 lessons, the whole week's worth of lessons in one sitting. He loved it. And then went back and watched them again. And so he only did one activity in that setting. So now I'm kind of like, okay, now you need to go back. And I'm like, I wish I could just find that one like 4-minute segment on what you need to do for that activity since you've watched it. Now it's kind of hard. You know, that's a little bit like, oh, that's not so easy. So anyways, that's what we're doing. Supplements that we're doing outside of BJU, besides 4-H. That doesn't really count. You know, besides our extracurricular, like our elective stuff, like we're doing Blaze New Trails with the Giles Frontier. Love, love, love it. And I really like it because that gives us a time for creativity. We're doing the art program from Yellow Spot Sun. Love, love, love. We're doing the Impressionist painting. We haven't actually gotten the paint out yet because I gotta like find a bucket and keep all that organized in one spot. And that's kind of what some of the stuff I really need to do is I need to get buckets and just pull the bucket out. Like, here's when we're doing this and here's when we're doing that. Kind of deal. And then I said, we're doing music. We're gonna learn the ukulele. That should be fun. We're doing the Prairie Book Club with Giles Frontier, which is the Big House in the Woods. No, the Cabin in the Woods, Big Woods. Anyways, that one by Lori Ingalls. And then my kids do some coding. My son loves doing the coding and then getting on Minecraft, which I think that's a normal. So having the ability, okay, BJU would never, if we did BJU 100%, we would never have the time to do other stuff. It would just own us. So there's a lot of stuff I'm just like, yeah, don't do that. I don't care if you do that, and I don't care if you do that. You can do it if you want to, but you don't have to. And I do that a lot for my 6th grader, my 7th grader, in the science and history. There's a lot of it that is not a brand new concept. We had a garage sale, and it's a nut fellow homeschooler. I always go and buy all her stuff. Y'all don't even want to know all the stuff I bought from her. She gives me a huge deal. But I mean, like, I leave like with more stuff than I ever need. I don't know. I just like owning it. I can't help it. I thought like at the beginning of the year I was going to trash everything. Forget it. All right. This video is 20 minutes long. So I am going to get back at you later. Hopefully I'll get a mama. I don't know if I'm going to have a mama chat this week or next week because we got like 4-H stuff going on the whole time. Don't know. All right. I love y'all. I hope you like this style again with all the noise and the dog and all of that. I will talk to you later. Peace out.